When we think of gladiators, we envision heroic warriors battling courageously in magnificent arenas, cheered by adoring crowds. Hollywood has painted them as noble fighters, symbols of strength and honor. But behind the spectacle and glory lies a horrifying reality that ancient Rome preferred to keep hidden from history. The truth begins with how gladiators were created. Most were not volunteers seeking fame, but slaves, prisoners of war, and condemned criminals forced into this brutal profession. They were considered property, bought and sold like livestock. Many were captured from conquered territories, torn from their families, and shipped to gladiator schools where they faced a terrifying transformation. These training facilities, called ludi, were essentially prison camps. Gladiators lived in cramped underground cells, barely large enough for a single person. They were chained at night, fed meager rations designed only to keep them alive, and subjected to brutal training regimens that killed many before they ever reached the arena. Archaeological evidence from Pompeii reveals gladiator barracks with thick walls, heavy locks, and no windows facing outward. The games themselves were far more savage than popular culture suggests. Contrary to the myth of thumbs up or down determining survival, most fights ended in death. Records show that mortality rates in the arena reached 70%. Gladiators who survived were often left with horrific injuries, permanent disabilities, and psychological trauma that haunted them for life. Perhaps most disturbing was how Rome used these spectacles to control its population. The games served as a calculated distraction from political corruption, economic hardship, and social inequality. Citizens were literally entertained by watching human beings die, while their leaders consolidated power and wealth. The gladiatorial system reveals Rome's darkest nature, a civilization built on systematic dehumanization, where human life was commodified for entertainment. Behind every roar of the crowd was someone's son, father, or brother dying for the amusement of an empire that valued spectacle over humanity. This is the terrifying truth Rome never wanted remembered.